I had always considered myself a fair and open-minded person, someone who listened before passing judgment. But when I joined a local women's advocacy group, I quickly realized that perception could be fragile. It started subtly, offhand comments, skeptical glances, and the occasional whispered remark. Before long, I became the bad guy in their eyes, though I had no idea why. Each meeting seemed to confirm a narrative that painted me as insensitive, even harmful, without my having done anything to warrant such treatment. At first, I tried to shrug it off. Maybe I was overthinking things, I told myself. But the tension was palpable, and I couldn't ignore the way people avoided me or exchanged knowing smiles when I entered a room. I questioned myself constantly, wondering if I had unknowingly said something offensive. Every interaction became a minefield, and I found myself tiptoeing around words and gestures just to avoid further missteps. The irony was that I had always prided myself on empathy, yet now I felt trapped in a story I hadn't authored. Days turned into weeks, and the isolation grew heavier. I began to feel the sting of being judged without explanation. My frustration built quietly, simmering beneath a veneer of composure. It was disorienting. I was surrounded by people who were supposed to be allies, yet I felt alienated and misrepresented. Every attempt to clarify or explain my perspective was met with polite dismissal or further suspicion. It was as if my voice had no power to challenge the narrative that had been woven around me. Finally, I realized I couldn't continue in silence. I decided to confront the situation directly, not with anger, but with curiosity and a willingness to understand. I requested a one-on-one conversation with the group's leader. I asked questions, listened carefully, and tried to hear their concerns without defensiveness. It was uncomfortable and at times painful, but it became clear that the bad guy image had grown from a series of misunderstandings, assumptions, and incomplete stories, none of which reflected my actual intentions. The conversation was a turning point. By seeking the truth rather than accepting the narrative, I discovered how easily reputations could be skewed, how quickly judgments could solidify without verification. I realized that perception often speaks louder than facts, and that it is all too easy to be cast as a villain when others are speaking from fragments of information. Most importantly, I learned the value of addressing issues directly rather than letting resentment or fear of confrontation dictate the outcome. From that experience, I emerged with a renewed commitment to honesty, clarity, and empathy. I continued working with the group, now armed with a deeper understanding of human dynamics and the power of narrative. The label of bad guy no longer haunted me because I had reclaimed my story through courage and dialogue. What had once felt like alienation became a lesson in resilience and the importance of seeking truth above assumptions. I finally understood that the only way to break a false narrative was to confront it, not with defensiveness, but with openness and patience.